say hello. It is good to see you. It is the finale of the Cyanide Super Formula Series. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are going round Suzuka. It is a legendary circuit. It has been used since since Super Formula in 1996. It is the finale. We have a few things to go through, of course, but it is going to be a very exciting end to the championship. We have a three-way fight in the constructors, which is Goat Scuderia, aka Victor Bernard and Johan Krolczak. Unfortunately, Johan cannot race today, so it's up to Victor alone on what he can do, and TKR is only Nathan Older. So before we go any further, I will introduce to you our co-commentator for the day. Please give a warm welcome to Viper. Hello. It seems like Viper isn't quite with us at the moment, so...
Yes, hello.
Oh, hello there, there you are.
Hello, everyone.
Hello there. So, I was just introducing to the fact that we have a three-way constructors fight at the moment, and we are, of course, going around the legendary Suzuka circuit. Actually been used here since 1996. Is there anything else you want to take us through?
Oh, yes, indeed. We've had a quite swift battle so far, considering almost the entire season now. But, however, with the Drivers' Championship sealed, there is still way for the Manufacturers' Championship, as you have mentioned. So that will be quite interesting to see, considering how tight it is.
Absolutely. So, of course, we have, of course, just to remind our viewers at home of the standings so far. It is, of course, Nathan Older who has taken the championship drivers standing. So it's just between Goat Scuderia, TKR, and Arrow Motorsport, only separated by 39 points in that top three, so it could go any of which way. I do believe, have you had a look at the point standings just before we started? Because I believe you did. Do you know how the point system is going to work for this round of Super Formula?
Unfortunately, I do not. Perhaps it would be very useful if you could introduce me, as well as the viewers who are not quite familiar with it.
Of course, no problem at all. It is currently, of course, this is Viper. Could you actually introduce yourself as well, just while I go through all of that, as we see Roland go into the pit entry?
Oh, yes. So my name is Abdurrahman. I've actually I've had the honor to race in the Porsche GT3 Cup Series in Jeddah. As for my sim racing experiences, I've been racing on, well, not that much actually, considering I'm in university right now, so I've rather dedicated my time now to education. But obviously, whenever I get the chance, anything that has to do with motorsport, I'm right onto it.
Okay, so where has your racing taken you? Have you just stuck to Assetto Corsa, or have you done more games than that?
Oh, so as for racing, I do Assetto Corsa Competizioni. I did do iRacing, but it's a bit pricey to be fair. I've also got into Le Mans Ultimate, and I've been provided a Rennsport test key, which was very nice to say the least. But yeah, that seems to be it for now.
Okay, and of course, people that are coming through here, of course, just to introduce myself as well. My name is David. I've been commentating on Assetto Corsa, Automobilista 1, and even F1 23 for about a year now. I've also done some league racing here and there with another series that this is actually partnered with, called Over the Limit Endurance Championships. I did 2 seasons of that before I moved to commentating, more or less, because I was just a little slow, that's all. Currently actually going to be moving to America very soon, so I don't know how much more of this I can do before all of that, but it's certainly been fun, I'll say the least, and it's an absolute pleasure to share the commentary box with you. So anyway, of course, we were going to talk about points. I'm just bringing the rulebook out now, and here we are. So in first position, you will get 30 points. Second will get you 26 points. Third gets you 22. Fourth will get you 18. Fifth will get you 14 points. Sixth will get you 10 points. Seventh will get you 8 points. 8th gets you 4 points, 9th gets you 2 points, and 10th will get you a singular point. Pole position, of course, gets an additional point. Fastest lap gets you an additional point, and for the lead lap, you also get additional points. So a lot of points to be handed out on this round, and we are just approaching the end of free practice. And as we've seen, and what we're probably used to, the Super Formula, well, leading on the timing screens is Nathan Older, of course, your current Super Formula champion at the moment.
Yep.
Anyway, have you tried these cars before, just out of sheer curiosity?
Oh yeah, the RSS cars, they are indeed well, quite fun to drive, to say the least. As for the Supreme one, oh yeah, that is a joy to drive.
I also agree. I find it really hard to keep your right foot under control, so I'm not sure how others do it, but I was just watching a stream of mine. It should be Pavel Melnikov, who unfortunately hasn't set a time at the moment in the windmill racing car. He's actually kind of been struggling when he comes out of the spoon corner. He's struggling with his right foot quite a bit, so a lot of drivers just have to watch how they spin the rears, because it's very sensitive around there, isn't it?
Oh yeah, Suzuka is quite a challenging circuit. As a matter of fact, its record remained unbroken as Lewis Hamilton in the 2019 season at a 1:30 and 9/10. However, the unofficial track time record remains belonging to Sebastian Vettel, a 1:27, almost dead, in the qualifying of that same race, as a matter of fact, and that is in Formula One.
Absolutely, and the Super Formulas are usually about 6 or 7 seconds off, usually, and that's just really because of straight line speed, really, more than anything. These go,
Oh, yeah,
as you can see on the speedometer on the bottom right hand corner, it goes up to about 282 kilometers per hour, about 170, 180 miles an hour between, and then, of course, so, you know, you're just dealing with less downforce and, like, you know, less speed as well. So that kind of where the time is lost in these cars. But why Stopper might be ruining the Nathan Older party here, as Brand Stopper has just gone top of the practice sheet. So that might be something for Nathan Older to consider. I take it he's the one to look out for, apart from Stopper as well.
Oh yes, indeed, that appears to be the case. However, in qualifying, you could have the pace in free practice. Qualifying, however, is an entirely different story. Consider the pressure that is put upon the driver.
Indeed. Exactly, yeah, so sometimes free practice isn't always the best, isn't always the best thing for when, because, like, this is more for, like, you know, full race distance practice, which is free practice, of course. If you really break the sessions down, like, you know, in Formula 1, they have 3 practice sessions, all last about an hour, of course. This is only 15 minutes, because drivers usually have a chance to practice, over the week, so it works a bit differently in the sim, of course. Oh, sorry about that. Caught with a frog in my throat. But at the moment, yeah, so drivers have more of a chance to actually practice the track over the week rather than just turn up at the weekend. I've just had a notification on my stream. I can't find it at the moment, and it is a... When this loads up, Meme Ruler has given a follow. Thank you very much, Meme Ruler, for that, and I hope you enjoyed the broadcast today. We have come to the end of the free practice session, and Stopper is top of the timing boards, but we'll have to wait and see if that comes to fruition in qualifying as well. Nathan Older, your current world champion, of course, in second place. So, Suzuka, what do we expect to see around here? It's very narrow, so qualifying is going to be crucial here. There's not really many overtaking opportunities. Of course, these cars don't have DRS. Can you introduce the overtaking system that these cars use?
Oh yes, indeed. So these cars, while quite not that dissimilar from Formula One cars, they do have a similar system that applies. But however, that system, as a matter of fact, could not be that beneficial over the course of the most of the track, as the drivers do come in on the first curve from the start-finish line onto the second curve, and the S curve's quite a challenging areas to overtake in, unless obviously one of the drivers in front commits a mistake, then it should be smooth sailing. As you head into the Gyako banked curve, which is also a quite fun place for drivers to spin on, and onto the Dunlop curve, which is quite much you have to hit right in order to get a good run-up for the diagonal curves, and onto the crossover, which is quite a common overtaking place, as a matter of fact. However, it remains as risky. And then the drivers go onto the hairpin, which is, as well, a lot of drivers do tend to take the outside line to get a better run-off onto the 200 right turn, and which leads into the spoon curve and onto the notorious back stretch, which is, a matter of fact, the most common place to overtake, considering the overtaking system, as well as actually puts up a good opportunity for drivers to get a bit of tow. And onto the crossover once again, and the 130R, and then onto the Cashew Triangle, which is a bit of a lethal chicane, especially if you get it wrong, and onto the last curve.
Absolutely. Also, I just wanted to apologise for some on-stream shenanigans. Unfortunately, I've had a bad mic crackle happen. So I do apologise. I hope that it's gone away now. I have had feedback to say that it has gone. I'm not quite sure what went on there. I think it was just my internet struggling with something. And we've got a couple of people in my chat saying opinions on car number 64 and opinions on the 67 car. I think we have a couple of drivers in chat trying to talk themselves up a little bit. If you do explain who you are, of course, we'll be happy to give you a bit of a spotlight. But at the moment, we have just ended free practice, like I have said. And now we will go into qualifying. So remember, it was Stopper who was out on top. It is Antoine Bunn who leads the field out for qualifying. It is a 10-minute qualifying session. And now it is all underway. The countdown begins. So for the qualifying sessions, we expect the fuel loads to be a lot lighter in this time around. And of course, there is no overtaking system in qualifying. This is all nil and void for this session. So it is pure pace alone, which you need to rely on. No tricks here. We've already seen Jiglov go off there and unfortunately have to go back to the pits there. So a bit of bad luck for him. And obviously one to keep an eye on is Nathan, and he'll be battling with Stopper for pole position, I would imagine. And of course, don't forget the Constructors' Championship as well. So, in this qualifying session, where no real boost is applied, as a driver, what are you looking to do?
Well, I believe in qualifying so far, a lot of drivers will actually be looking forward to get a bit of a tow from the cars in front of them. However, in the high-speed corners like the 200R, that could lead to a bit of dirty air, which could actually end up having a backwards effect. So instead of getting a better lap time, you end up going slower due to the dirty air, which obviously means less downforce. However, if the drivers get it right, they have the back stretch as well as the pit stop line to get quite a bit of draft there.
And here we go. So, as you say, Antoine Bunn leads the field out, and he'll be hoping that he's not leaving too much of a draft for the drivers behind. Of course, the times coming up on the board right now are only their outlaps, so these are not representative at the moment. We will follow Antoine Bunn for the time being. He, of course, is coming around the snake section and then goes to the anti-banked curve through here, looking neat and tidy. You want to try and be as wide as possible for the right-hander through here. You want to meet the exit curve there and then just continue following the road left. Come to the left-hand side here for what is called the Degner curves there. It's actually able to go flat out for the first part of it and goes beyond the white line there. I was seeing a couple of people do that in practice, so I'm not sure if they're actually checking the track limits there. Somebody might want to just check on that. And then hairpin as well, looking clean through here. Sorry, you were saying something, Viper.
Yeah, obviously, indeed. And the drivers will be looking to maximize the exit out of the hairpin for the high-speed turn, the 200R, and into the spoon curve, which is also relatively a high-speed turn for high downforce cars, as you can see here, taking it on fourth gear almost 200 kilometers through the spoon curve.
I will say that this is, just to kind of talk about Formula 1 for a little bit, this is an absolute favourite with drivers and fans alike, and it is just purely because of its high speed sections and the fact that it is so it just flows so naturally as well. These corners just come together like a satisfying jigsaw puzzle, for lack of a better word. But Antoine Bonne sets the time with a 1:34.340, and of course I do expect that to be topped, and it is topped right away by Nathan Older with a 1:33.991. You expect to be in the 1:33s for pole position. I think that's where we're going to be. Can Stopper respond at any point? No, it's a 1:35.415, so looks to have been held up somewhere, or maybe just had a mistake on the outlap, so he looks like he's going again.
Oh, yes, indeed, and let's not forget since the drivers appear to be like quite bunched up together, which is quite unusual for qualifying. But considering we actually have a packed grid, it's not at all surprising. As we see here, Stopper goes a bit wide there to maximize his entrance onto the hairpin and onto the 200R. Gets a good exit, locks up a little bit, however that is how physics work here, and does have a good run onto the 200R. However, he's barely slower in his sector 1 time, so the sector 2 time will actually be representative of how fast his lap actually is. Now there's a lot of time to gain on that spoon curve as we go on the back stretch, hopefully with good traction, as he does indeed improve by almost 300ths of a second. However, that might not be quite enough to give him pole.
We'll certainly soon find out. It's certainly a overall best, definitely a bit down on his personal best in Sector 1, so I wonder if he made his mistake through Sector 3. He's going to come across the line now. It's pole position for Stopper all the time being.
He made up almost 3/10 of a second on Sector 3, as he snatches pole, contrary to what he has stated. So Stopper coming here with quite an impressive Sector 3 here, and quite the benchmark for everyone else to utilise.
Indeed, so Stopper and Older going tit for tat with each other for pole position at the moment, which only leads to a very exciting couple of races. Now, of course, Saiju has just let me know in my chat that the lap we were on board with, as Nathan Older improves on his personal best, and not only that, fastest overall in Sector 1, that what we saw was indeed a track limits violation, so that lap will not stand. Nathan Older, though, makes a mistake and has to go back into the pits with 4 minutes to go. Time is not on his side, but he has enough time to do an outlap and then go again. We will keep an eye on that, but we need to pay attention to the other drivers around here. We have Stopper on the board, but we have Juan Gramage, who I actually had the pleasure of commentating over in another league that we're partnered with. It was the Praga Championship with Ledpool Racing, Juan Gramage and Victor Bernat and Johan Karolczak actually did battle there, so I'm actually familiar with the pace of Juan Gramage. So he is a quick driver, so expect to see him in and around the top 5 as well, and I also expect to see a Victor Bernat a bit higher up as well. Very quick driver, and of course one of the admins in this league as well. He is 8th, while Juan Gramage in 5th. Chicky Gonzalez in 4th, and yeah, no, a lot of going around here. A lot of communities interconnect to one another. It's always nice to see, as Bun has made a mistake there. I think that was just
into the gravel.
Yeah, he had to go back into the pits.
I believe in the Degner curves and onto the crossover, which is quite a common place that drivers tend to lose it on, as we have a side-by-side. As Gonzalez as well manages to take it off. I believe that is the same section as well.
Yeah, I think that is actually, Spoon Curve, actually. Just at the end of the track. I can just go on board. Yeah, that is Spoon Curve for certain. So he's just parked it there, and it's probably just letting some traffic through, I'd hope, or he's run out of fuel. I don't know. We'll keep an eye on that if the car does get moving eventually. But at the moment, also, one I was watching earlier, Pavel Melnikov, who is absolutely struggling with this setup, he has found this track-car combination to be absolutely lethal. He has not enjoyed it here. He's got a very sensitive rear end, which, of course, we were explaining earlier on in the session. But as I say that, he goes and improves on his personal best, goes all the way up to 13th, and that's Pavel Melnikov. Improving on his personal best and taking a trip into the gravel for good measure.
Oh yeah, a bit of rallying there. Not quite ideal. Not the ideal line, to be fair.
not the ideal line, and he hasn't got a lot of time left if he wants to improve on that, but he may just call it a day. Or has
So
he?
it looks like the drivers that have, well, as you say, have called it a day appear to be Bun, who has not come out of the pits yet. So as it stands, the only two drivers to go under the 34-second mark are Stoper and Older.
That is correct, and of course these two were, well, we're going tit for tat in practice, but now are going tit for tat in qualifying. So what we saw in practice has indeed translated into qualifying, which is very exciting for us and a great way to send out this 8-round series that we have seen. It has been an absolute great championship, and now we have got the right track. We have got the right cars for the occasion. It is going to be an amazing one. Stopper down in Sector 1 there. Has got a car in front of him, so might be suffering from some dirty air, as you've mentioned earlier in the broadcast.
However, if he manages to keep it tight, he could benefit from quite a decent slipstream onto the back straight.
Indeed, and he has...
So he's only lost 800ths there, so if he manages to keep it tight onto the spoon curve and gets a good draft, he will actually manage to extend his lead on pole as Older enters the pit, so he will not be improving.
And guess
and
what?
He has a draft.
And guess what? As soon as you said that, Viper, he has improved on his personal best in Sector 2, so evidently the slipstream is more beneficial than being behind in dirty air. Evidently it's not affecting him too badly. He's keeping it tight. You say, oh no, into the pits apparently, and that's it.
Perhaps he is satisfied with this lap.
It's only...
But
sorry, go on.
quite rightfully so. Yeah, quite rightfully so, to be fair, as I don't think anybody will be improving so far. As Victor Bernat perhaps could have another say. We'll be looking forward to that.
Indeed, yeah. I just saw that he was on the 134 cusp, looking like he could be a contender, but he's down 4/10 in Sector 1 already, so I don't know if this is going to be much of an improvement at all. Down on his personal best, he would need to come in and get a new set of tyres, but qualifying has come to an end. Unless if Juan Gramage can challenge it, it is Stopper and Nathan Older who are your top two. Stopper on pole, Older in second, and as it stands right now, Victor Bernat in third. He's got a bit of traffic in 13th. That is our Spider behind him as Tuki Gonzalez into the gravel there, and that was at the hairpin.
Perhaps improving on his Sector 1 lap time. However, he unfortunately has managed to get into the barrier, so clearly he will not be improving. However, there are approximately 5 drivers still on track capable of improving. Now, don't think we will be seeing any improvements, however, as you said, the tyres are quite worn out. As Victor Bernat sets the best Sector 2, he could set him to improve his lap time.
He's in the pits.
Not.
He's in the pits
he's in
now.
the pits. Okay.
He went all the way into the pits, I'm afraid, so he felt going no further.
Yeah.
But here we go. We got the fastest in Sector 2. It's only good for 5th, I'm afraid.
But it's not enough.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that is your grid mostly. So,
that is rough.
That is.
Cars over here.
Yeah, that is a collision going into the snake section there. I hope that wasn't deliberate.
I don't think it was, as we can see them doing donuts. I think they're having a bit of fun after qualifying. No harm done in that, to be fair, as long as, well, you wouldn't really be able to do that in real life, so might as well do it here.
Absolutely. But anyway, let's, the main headline coming out of qualifying is Stopper on pole position for the race today. Of course, as well, we will be doing a reverse grid in race number 2. I do believe it is the top 12 that are reversed. If side you can remind me of that, of course. I think it was the top 12 last time I checked, but it is it's a top 10 reverse. So if things end up like this going into race number 1, then it will be Jiglov on pole. But of course, we have 20 minutes of a race to go. And also, I've just got to play a little thing on the stream just before we get into anything. So this is, of course, a sideline broadcast. Let's play the intro. Nothing like a good intro to get us hyped up for the race. Let's go. So we're still waiting for the session to load in at the moment. Now, where would you like to qualify if you would like to be in Suzuka? Of course, if you weren't on pole, let me just give you a bit of a theoretical situation for you here. You are Nathan Older, and you're the current championship holder. You've got nothing left to lose. Do you go for it like Senna did all those years ago, or do you just wait it out?
I believe it actually depends on who exactly do you have behind you. So ideally, you don't really want a quick car behind you, as like I said, there are a lot of corners or a lot of straights actually. Well, two to be fair, two straights where you can get a very decent draft on and actually manage to get onto the back of the car, even if you're like roughly half a second to a second behind. However, considering this is a very hard track to overtake, I believe pole is actually the ideal position to be in, unless you can get a good start from second position or even third. Then you could have actually quite a good run onto the first turn.
Of course. And actually, besides you just reminding me in particular, Nathan still needs to outscore Victor by 18 points for the Constructors. So in actual fact, there's still a Constructors Championship on the line. And now we are going to get underway with our first grid countdown of the race. So it is, of course, Stopper in first position, Nathan Older in second, Victor Bernat in third, Justine in fourth, Gramage in fifth, The Box in sixth, Tuki Gonzalez in seventh, Bun in eighth, Nilsson in ninth, Jiglov in 10th, 11th is Gilmore, DeFrancis in 12th, Mobs in 13th, Spider in 14th, Melnikov really struggling with the rear of the car, down in 15th, Vabunin in 16th, and Kachus in 17th, and Sheikh in 18th. And we now have a minute to go, and now the anticipation builds in the cockpits.
Indeed it does, as we have almost 40 seconds till start. Now, a common overtaking place in the first lap would actually be the first curve. If you get an outside line, you could actually manage to overtake, considering a lot of cars get bunched up on the inside line into this. So, perhaps if Older could manage to get in front of Stoper into this lap, or well, into the first turn, he would have quite a good run onto the first curve and second curve, as a matter of fact. And if he manages to cover it off on the second curve, he will have the S curve and the Gyaku banked curve, which is quite a challenging place to overtake in.
Indeed, we have... Sorry about that.
Yep,
6 red lights on the screen there. And we are racing in Suzuka. It is a good start there from Older, but Stupa has to cover him off. Victor Bernat there was approaching the outside there for second place, but guess what? He's now got just in for pressure, and down the inside we've seen a few cars go wide. There's somebody in the background there going off into the gravel, but it is Stupa who leads the way from Nathan Older. Victor Bernat loses a position. That's good for Nathan Older, and we've had a collision in the background. Yes, it's Spider who's lost it at Snake.
Quite early on the race, especially on the first lap. However, that is bound to happen. We have a couple of cars off as well. Melnikov and Vabunin are off the track as they hastily make back the way towards, but however, they're quite behind. So they have quite a lot of work to do, as Stoper seemingly extends his lead, as a matter of fact, with almost 7 tenths, as a matter of fact, but he does not get the hairpin quite right, so off on quite quick, actually.
Yep, so that has allowed Nathan Older to catch back up. There's, just so everyone knows as well, you know when they're using the overtake system is when the indicator goes into that orange colour. That means they are using it right now, and you'll see Nilsson has used it twice this lap, and now there's a swapping of position between Gilmore and Sheikh. Of course, Gilmore was I believe 11th position or something like that, and Sheikh was dead last, and we are seeing quite a lot of battles between 8th and 7th, and also for the top 5, because and there's a spin there for Nilsson. That's a Casio triangle.
That is Nilsson. That is Nilsson, the Swedish driver, and the number 30 is actually spun, and he's struggling to get back on track. His ideal option would be to get back onto the escape rope and back on the track. There's a car approaching. That would be Vabonin, who has actually spun out earlier on the first lap, as he manages to overtake Nilsson for 14th position. So we've have, obviously, as expected, a couple of unfortunate incidents in the first 2 laps.
Indeed, the action has come outside of the top 10 as it stands right now. There's been a few swappings of positions, but the top 2 really asserting themselves in a different league of their own. Stopper and Nathan Older running away by a second to the car behind of Justin, but Victor Burnett will be really annoyed with the start he got. He is currently waiting for his push to pass to charge up. If it's in that blue, that means it is charging up at the moment. So Victor has actually created his own little train coming out of the hairpin there, separated from the car behind by 0.6 of a second there.
So we could see an overtake here between Older and Stoker, less than 0.2 between each other, as a matter of fact. Getting very tight and close onto each other. Perhaps Older could have a good draft down there, and he does. Would we see an overtake? Manages to hold the outside line, and he does cover it off. Older overtakes Stoper into the back straight.
Yep, and now Stoper has... Oh no!
We have him tagged, and Older is tagged out by Stoper. That is, you do not want to see that.
No, you don't, but guess what? Victor Burnett will absolutely be celebrating in that cockpit, because that means his team are in the right position for the Constructors' Championship. And guess what? Second place is only 1 second in front of the road now, so now Stupa might be in a lot of trouble with the stewards as well, so that win may not be upheld. Actually, someone in chat saying that's a Senna and Prost moment if I've ever seen one. Yeah, no, well, at least it wasn't between teammates.
But to be fair, I think it was quite a bit of a tight line, so I don't think it was intentional. However, that will still remain onto the stewards to decide.
Indeed, and at the moment, well, like I said before, this changes the picture in the Constructors' Championship, because Nathan Older is in a team of his own. We're actually seeing a battle. Oh, and there's been a collision out the side of the exit of Dickners. That's for 8th and 9th, and Jiggleoff.
Oh, we have a bit of a bad crash there, as one of the cars has managed to make their way back on the track. So hopefully we get a safe rejoin here, as another car goes over the track, I believe. A bit of grass. He actually manages to keep it on track, which is good. As Imran Sheikh has a bit of an off, and he's on last now in 17th position. Indeed,
so I think we lost a car between qualifying and the race. I thought we had 18 here, and Saiju said 19th, and Saiju in the chat saying about that collision with the lead, Senna, is that you? I mean, that's a bit harsh.
We have a bit of a spin here for one of the cars, I believe.
Oh, we do?
Juan Gramage, actually, who manages to spin out in quite a crucial spot and loses 2 positions, I believe. I think the box actually manages to get caught in that as well.
Yeah, so that was between Nathan Older and I think... No, it wasn't between Nathan Older. That's my bad there. Nathan Older is currently overtaking Antoine Bunn for 4th position. So Nathan making a recovery drive out of the situation he's been handed. And now is trying to make his way back to the leading pack, but has 6.6 seconds and is waiting for his push to pass, or overtakes system to recharge. Ollie Mobs overtakes Kachios for 9th position as well, so that relegates the Greek driver down into 10th position. And he is now under pressure from the Swedish driver Nilsson behind, who we saw spin earlier at the Casio Triangle. Again, as we expected, this car proving difficult for some of the drivers. Lots of mistakes happening on this race.
Yes, as we mentioned earlier, the GTR does play a huge role, especially when you're trailing behind the car.
Exactly. So at the moment, it is still half a second between the leader, Stupa, feeling the need to use his push to pass, and as just Justin and the entire top 3 using their push to pass. Of course, Victor Burnett will have a double slipstream of sorts. The the 2 cars in front of him punching a big hole in the air. But then as soon as I say that, I see Nilsson has overtaken the Greek driver Kachios for 10th position as well. So that is him up into the top 10 on a recovery drive. We'll keep an eye on him at the moment, but the driver with the lowest push to pass amount is Di Francesco. He has already used 4 of his overtake buttons to in 6.5 minutes. So he is using the overtake system like there's no tomorrow. Well, technically there's another race to go, but you know, the amounts will reset at the end of the race. So he feels he's got pace and just wants to keep up with the pack at the moment, and he was 3 seconds faster than Kachios on that lap as well, so that gap is coming down. At the moment, how do you feel the race has gone, and where do you feel this is all going at the moment, Viper?
So I believe, considering the fact we didn't have a safety car or a red flag, that is, well, quite impressive to say the least, considering how much of a big pack we have. However, as expected, we did have a lot of unfortunate incidents in the race, which I think like almost none of them were actually intentional, but perhaps we did have a bit opportunistic moves that unfortunately proved to be not ideal for the other drivers, as they were unfortunately taken out. However, the race is beginning to stabilize now, so we should start seeing overtakes, especially with the push to pass mode.
Exactly. Victor Bernat has now steadily been chipping away at this gap for second place. Of course, I will remind you, and like I'll keep reminding everybody here, it is a battle for the constructors here. Victor Bernat Nathan needs to outscore Victor by 18 points in order to win the Constructors' Championship. But with Victor currently in third position, this is only helping him. And if he can make up another position, Nathan's really just going to have to try and hurry up. That gap was at 6.6 seconds when Older overtook Antoine Bon, but that gap hasn't come down by much. With only just under 12 minutes to go, it is going to be a real tall order to try and catch up to this top three. But I'm pleased to see that the top three have kind of remained close together. We've got battles forming in other areas of the track, and if you look at the battle for 9th position, for example, there's battles forming all over the place to where we could look. So which one is taking your attention right now?
Perhaps, well, you don't even know where to look, to be fair. The gaps keep changing quite quickly. You could manage to get one well, but the next one you instantly lose almost up to a second. So it actually depends. Well, we could pick anyone, and we could see an overtake. You never know. And that's the special thing about Suzuka.
Yeah, and exactly, it's just this... Oh no, so you see Ollie Mobs there, making a mistake at the exit of Degner there.
You do not want to see that, especially with how much of a tight battle he was having with Nilsson. However, Nilsson did manage to put the pressure and get into Ollie.
Exactly, so Nilsson now is back, well, into the top 10. He's been there for quite some time. As we say hello to Trent Booty in the chat, welcome to the stream and the broadcast. Hope you're enjoying things so far. But Nilsson on a recovery drive after spinning in the Casio Triangle. He is currently trying to catch any sort of position and recover the race, which has gone horribly for him so far. Now, if it was to finish as it was, going into race 2, he starts second, and we've just seen, a timing glitch. Yeah, we've got a bit of timing glitch there, but we're seeing Victor Bernat go side by side for second there, Viper.
Oh yes, that was a bit risky, however he's backed out of it.
Well, for the time being, we are now approaching the halfway point of the race with 10 minutes to go in this 20-minute race. Unfortunately, that side-by-side battle will have lost time to Stoper, but Stupa will surely be under investigation. He had a collision with Nathan Older earlier in the race. Now, while Viper did say it was unintentional, of course, I don't think anything was meant by it. Unfortunately, Nathan Older has suffered because of it, so I don't expect Stupa's win to stand at the moment, and that will be up to the stewards if it is reported, of course.
Yeah, it was a bit of an opportunistic move, a bit too opportunistic to say the least, and it resulted in a contact. So yeah, sometimes you go for a move, it ends up carrying you from hero to zero, or perhaps the other way around.
We are getting information in chat saying I'll retire the car, and that is from Meme Ruler. I believe he was in the 64 car or the 51 car, because the 51 is the only one that is in the pits at the moment. So I believe Jiglov is Meme Ruler, and of course he started in 10th position, looking good to try and take the pole position into race 2, but he is going no further, so he'll be right at the back of the field coming into the next race. Now, Victor Bernat, is he going to try going around the outside of the first turn again? No, he won't. Not close enough to make that happen, but only 4 attempts separate them. We're seeing Vabunen overtake Kachios for 11th position there, so Vabunen trying to make positions as well, and Ollie Mobs isn't too far down the road.
Yeah, indeed, and well, like we said earlier, the field is beginning to stabilize, as everybody is now managing to get the push to pass system, well, charging it, to say the least. So yeah, we're going to see a bit of more excitement, especially with these charging up.
Exactly. So yeah, there's the driver who's. Well, I'm just trying to see who's used what. Of course, Jiglov in the pits. Meme Ruler was in PA and he was number 67. So he's decided to retire the car and go again. And shame for Jiglov as well. He's just remained in the pits there. But at the moment, still tight between the battle for second place with Victor.
As the car in 13th, apologies to interrupt.
No
The number
problem.
7, Di Francesco, has spun out.
Indeed, that was through the snake section. He's just gotten underway again. Also, the top 3 using their push to pass, well, including Nathan Alder. So the top 4 there, Ryan Gomage as well. As yeah, lots of glitches with the timing system today. I do apologise for that. So it sometimes happens. I don't quite understand it. It's just one of those things. So apologies if that misleads anybody in the chat. But I can assure you that Cassius is down in 12th, and that has now reset correctly. So, at the moment, who are you looking at as your driver of the day, Viper?
Absolutely, driver of the day would be Justin in second position. If he manages to, I believe if he manages to get the win, he will seal it for the driver of the day.
Fair enough. I should also just say driver of the race, really. We haven't had our second race yet, but of course, Sheikh has actually gone and DNF'd from the session, so he'll take no further part in this race. We hope to see him back for the next one, but he will be starting, I believe it will be 16th place, as Vabunen has now made a move on Ollie Mobs there, and he is now up into 10th position there. So good job from Vabunen there. Well, as far as I can see, the Mexican driver, I don't know if that always represents, I think some drivers just put it on there as a joke or something, but as far as I knew, Mexican driver.
Yeah, that quite a nice move on the outside, as a matter of fact. Like mentioned earlier, the outside is quite a common place to make a move on the first corner.
Indeed, and guess what? The gap is coming down to the leader as well. So the top 3 are beginning to catch, and Victor Bernat is still right on the back of Justin, the Hungarian driver, in all of this. But I think the tyres at this point are starting to go. Remember, they've gone racing from for 15 minutes now, so surely some of the tyres will be beginning to wear and will be beginning to increase in temperature. In fact, even then, they are both faster. They both set times faster than the leader, so both of these cars, despite
It
doing
goes down the inside and the outside, sorry. Yeah, and goes up wide on the entry. And Justin keeps his position.
Indeed, he did. No problem at all for interrupting, by the way. No need to apologise for that at all. So, as I was saying there, unfortunately, the tyres at this point, of course, we don't have any mandatory pit stops, so a lot of cars are trying to go to the end on one set of tyres, but towards the end, like, you know, the tyre surface has worn off. It's not giving you the same grip. It's not giving you the same traction. Everything begins to slow down, and when you're this close to a battle, you always just want that extra little bit just to try and get you past. Of course, the overtake system is there, gives you 5% more fuel flow in the car, but just as a driver, you're always just thinking, I just want that little more of anything, don't you, Viper?
Yeah, exactly. Even like sometimes on the straight, you're like, you know what, give me 5 more horsepower, but you can't really get that. So you just always need that bit of push for the car just to make the overtake. And especially, like you said, with the grip wearing out, we won't be able to see moves on the outside of high-speed corners as we used to. Well, we could, but it's very risky with the low grip.
Exactly, and you've got to also consider the marbles that are on that surface as well. It becomes a lot more slippy, and so you've got to kind of stick to the racing line, because that's where the grip is at this late stage of the race. You can even see it there on the bottom of your frame there. It was just covered in marbles there. As Nathan Alder, though, despite what we've been saying, has just done the fastest lap of a 1:33.957. So Nathan Alder not giving up on this just yet. Experiencing another timing glitch, please ignore that, unless if it is genuine. Hang on, no!
Oh, it is genuine.
It's genuine
Victor
there.
Makes it past. Oh, Stope actually is falling behind, a matter of fact. Apologies. Both drivers made it past, so Stoper went from 1st to 3rd.
Yep, and
so
Nathan...
that is not the ideal position to be in, especially with the possible penalty that's coming in Stoper's way, as Alder now would be looking to capitalise as well. As Victor, does Victor have an off, or is that a contact?
He has had an off, indeed. It was at the hairpin. So now...
well, he's stuck it on the track. with now Stoper and Older right on his tail.
Indeed, and
Manages to get
Stoper.
inside, he makes the move, pushes him a bit off wide, and makes it back. Victor keeps second position. However, going onto the back straight, and that will be a nice place to get a toe. Alder is looking forward for a mistake from either of the two drivers.
Just in the background in all of this, Ollie Mobbs has made a mistake, has lost out to 10th, 11th and 12th there, as now Victor Bernat has been overtaken. Oh, last round the outside, but that was a violation of track limits. Stupa will have to give that back. He cut the last part of the Casio triangle there, so he'll definitely have to give that back right here, right now.
Yes, indeed.
And now Ollie... Sorry, oh, it's 3 wide going into the front. Oh, no!
We're going to have a contact. 2 drivers spin out. Stoper makes it past, however, with the least damage. Victor, however, the most damaged from that incident. So Stoper back in second, Older in third, Victor to be the loser out of the 3 wide. So it's very risky to go 3 wide there. Well, the risk did not pay dividends to perhaps any of the drivers. Lost a lot of time to the race leader, was now Justin. So Justin, obviously not, from seemingly not a position to win the race, now the race leader by quite a margin.
Indeed, I was also just going to say as well, that is the second incident that Stoper has been involved in. So that means he is going to be really, really in trouble with the stewards there. Nathan Older will be looking to have revenge there, and I think maybe just some emotion might have taken over in the cockpit there, and he just forced the issue by going 3 wide where he didn't really need to. So I wonder if he'll be under investigation as well, because 3 wide going into that first corner, not ideal as you saw there.
Yeah, I believe it was a risk fully committed to by all 3 of the drivers, as a matter of fact, for sticking in. But we'll see what the stewards have a say on that.
Saiju just popping himself in the chat there as we're seeing Victor, I think I thought it was Victor Bernat there, but it's actually Juan Gramage and Antoine Bonne making moves there. Stupa as well, thought he'd lost a position there. I don't know what's genuine and what's a glitch anymore. After that, I'm a bit caught out there, but Antoine Bonne has just run out of overtake system there, and Victor Bernat is the only driver as well to have used it all up. He was the first one, so Antoine Bonne and Victor Bernat in similar situations here. Got no overtake system left. Nathan Older has more overtake than Stupa, but as soon as I say that, he goes and uses it through the snake session. We only have 20 seconds to go, so I do believe if just... Yeah, no, this will be the final lap. Once the clock is 0, that lap is the final lap, so this one will be the last one.
Indeed, so Justin with a big lock-up here, however that shouldn't impact him much with a 4-second margin from the car in second. So at the podium as it stands, Justin, Stoper and Older. So we've almost got the same order as a matter of fact, except with Stoper in second, Older in third, and then Victor unfortunately in 6th from the starting lineup.
Exactly, I've just been told to redeem my hydrate, so I've just done that very quickly, but here we go. Nathan Older is charging his push to pass, and there you go. Leader is on, final lap. We'll cut to him in just a second. He's just coming through 130R right now, and now through Casio Triangle. Thanks to incidents around him, he has absolutely dominated as Juan Gramage now moves up into 4th, but then it's Antoine Bonne down the inside. But apart from that, it's all remained as it was. Justin takes the win in race 1. He'll start in 10th. Stupa in 2nd, in a bit of doubt. Nathan Older in 3rd. Antoine Bonne in 4th in the end. And then it's Juan Gramage losing out to Bonne in 5th. Victor Bernat will come across the line in an unhappy 6th position there. The box rounds out the top 7. And then the 8th driver, Matt Gilmore, been in a race of his own, really, but no complaints from him. He's in a good position there. And will come home 8th position there across the line now, and it's Nilsson as well. Good job considering that he was involved in a spin earlier on. He'll start 2nd place for race number 2 as Justin has disconnected from the servo, so he should be back in just a second. There you go, he crosses the line too. Is Verbunen under any pressure, and he is your pole sitter for the next race. So there you go, your pole sitter is confirmed. It is Paul Verbunen in 10th, and then of course it's Kachios across the line 11th, Pavel Malkov in 12th. Our Spider will then round out the 14 drivers on the lead lap and the 40 drivers on the grid. So what was 18 became 14 in the end. So there you go. Spider comes across the line, and we will go into race 2. We'll go through the order, but in the headline here, Justin taking the win in race 1. Stupa and Nathan Older involved in collisions, which has infected Victor Burnett there. I had this. Ollie also asking in the chat, have I seen the livery I'm running? Yes, it looks really good, thank you. That's all I can really say about it. I'll just give them a little bit of a sneak peek, because why not? That's a nice little livery there, Ollie. Well done. I assume Ollie is you, Ollie Mobs.
Yeah, that is a beautiful color transition, to be honest.
Indeed, yes. So anyway, thoughts on race number 1, Viper?
Yep, quite hectic as expected, obviously. Quite entertaining as well. Nothing short of entertaining, as a matter of fact. A lot of unfortunate incidents that put drivers that were probably going to end up in a lot better space or a better position. However, that is the risk, and some drivers took risks, and perhaps they might get punished for them. You never know. We're going to have to see what these stewards decide on that. But overall, magnificent race from Justin in first place. Quite a magnificent performance, to be fair, and kept it clean for the most part. As a matter of fact, stayed away from most of the battles behind him, and well, as a matter of fact, we're in front of him at some point. So yeah, kept it clean, drove consistent. Well done, Justin.
Indeed. So Justin definitely taking my driver of the race as well. Of course, we'll see how he does in race number 2. See if anybody else can get our vote. But as you say, Stupa likely to be reported there. I'll try and keep an eye on the Discord to see if anything is said, but nothing at the moment. I've just had a couple of follows as well that I just need to acknowledge. Dim Dims, thank you for the follow, and Ollie Z3, of course, that's Ollie Mobs in this race. Thank you for the follow as well. Appreciate to have you on board. A couple of new drivers coming in for race number 2, says Saiju. So we're going to have a couple of more drivers this time around. We're still waiting. So yeah, the session's just cooling down at the moment. And then once this cooldown is complete, we will head to the grid. And we will go through your grid for race number 2. So at the moment, we will have Vabunen in first position, as said earlier. Now, what I like to think is, I like to think that Vabunen can actually hold off the lead, well, stay in the lead for just a lap. But of course, he's got a couple of pacey drivers behind him. For example, you have Victor Burnett there, you have Wang Guamage there, and you know Nathan Older as well, who will be a bit higher up the grid. But it's just crucial to get that good start. So, What do you think Vabunen needs to do if he wants to win? Does he need to rely on track luck, or does he need to do some work himself?
I believe it's a bit both, actually. Like I said, there are a lot of high-speed corners that you need a good exit out of to get the pace. So I believe he manages to defend well. I mean, to be fair, defending on the corners isn't as important as is for the high-speed corners, especially like out of the 130R, for example, or out of the spoon curve onto the back stretch. So I believe that will be his biggest challenge to be.
Exactly, and of course, when you're under pressure as well, it's very easy to get desperate on that right foot to try and just maximize the traction you have in the car. And as we saw, as the tires get older, mistakes begin to be made. We saw a few tank slappers. But we will now run through your grid for race number 2, another 21-minute race even. So it's Vabunen in first position, Nilsson in second place, Gilmore in third. The box takes fourth position, and it's Victor Burnett in fifth, Wang Guamage in sixth, Antoine Bunn in seventh, Nathan Older in eighth, in front of his controversial rival for this race, Stupa, in ninth. Justin in 10th, who of course run race number 1, and then outside of the top 10, it is an unchanged order from the race 1. Kachios in 11th, Melnikov in 12th, doing well to recover, considering how he's been struggling with the car. Di Francesco in 13th there, Spider in 14th, Ollie Mobs in 15th, Jigalov in 16th, who was of course 10th in the last race, but unfortunately couldn't go much further than a few laps. Then it's Sheikh in 17th, and then Tuki Gonzalez rounding out your 18 drivers. And with 30 seconds to go, who are you looking out for in this race, Viper?
Well, I believe Vabunen is quite good on pace if he manages to well, keep it up and close off the corner exits, I believe he could be up for a huge upset for the other drivers. As for Bernat, who's in fifth, I believe he's in a very good position and he has the pace to carry it to first. That is assuming he carries on with the race without incidents, hopefully, and that should be the case for everyone.
Indeed, and we have 6 red lights, it's a long delay, and we are finally racing for Boonen with a not so great start there, so that's Nilsson instantly up into first position there. That didn't take long at all, so for Boonen already loses the lead and is under pressure for third there. That's Matt Gilmore, he's already up in second place, that's round the outside. We're under first corner there, Matt Gilmore with an amazing move off the start there, and what you predicted, Viper, came true, and Victor Bernat, it is crucial for his Constructors' Championship, but at the moment, he is up into fourth and more importantly ahead of Nathan Older, and Justin finally makes position there up into ninth. So far so good for all the drivers. We've had a collision with Di Francesco in the background, so he's demoted into 18th, and they go, oh, Nathan Older and Juan Gramage doing battle there in 7th, and we've had a collision again in the background there, and that's Melnikov, like in race 1, same area too.
Yeah, that is quite unfortunate. He's had the bitter end of both races. As we see here, I believe that's one of the drivers in 15th position has a bit of a rallying session.
Yeah, indeed, and we're seeing Stupa actually lose out to Antoine Bunn here at the moment, but Stupa having the outside for Spoon Curve there, so he fights back, no problem at all. That's 8th position. We're seeing a bit of swapping in the top 5, but Victor Bernat, with showing great pace, is already up into the top 3, just in making a move on Antoine Bunn, so that battle continues. But at the moment, it's P5 for Nathan Older, and it's down the inside of the box, and he's up into 4th already. Nathan Older wants to take a win, and we're seeing some side-by-side action. That was between Stupa and Justin there, so Stupa ahead of Justin at the moment, and like before, battles wherever you look, Viper.
Oh yes, as per usual, as expected for quite a tight grid, quite a tight track. We're going to see overtakes here and there as, okay, that was a bit bold, however he did stick it, happily without any incident.
Indeed, ow, Juniper has made a mistake there, and one of the other drivers racing in this one, and Ollie Mobs in the background as well, both partaking in Rallycross, but Juniper has parked up, and I think is retiring from the race, unfortunately, so they will take no further part in this. We will, of course, focus. Victor Bernat has made a genuine mistake there.
That is unfortunate. That is very unfortunate. He was looking very strong in the first couple of laps now. However, as we said, you make a move, you either make it from 0 to 0, or in this case, unfortunately, it was indeed a case of 0 to 0.
Unfortunately so, Nathan Older is now promoted up into 3rd position, but guess what? You'd think this was a battle for the lead, but he is actually 3.5 seconds up the road. Nilsson, of course, involved in a race 1 collision, which, of course, brought him into top 2, as I think we just had a timing glitch there. Yeah, that will sort itself out eventually, so we'll go back to that. But Nilsson has been one to look out for. We're seeing a side-by-side action, and this is for 2nd place, of course. Gilmore benefited from the incidents around him.
There's a bit. Oh, that return would have been nasty. However, thankfully, it is clean. As for now, Nielsen will be looking forward to keep the lead. I don't think that'll be the case, though. The other cars are packing a lot of pace. 3 wide once again.
Oh,
hopefully it's clean this time.
As I heard an explosion happen, but guess what, Matt? They get through that cleanly, through 3 wide, and Gilmore still holds 2nd place somehow. Nathan Older having to say, oh no! That is a collision, and that's through the mistake, and there's all the cars involved.
It's clean. Oh god, it's chaos everywhere.
Oh my word, and that throws the Constructors' Championship, and Nathan Older was involved in that as well, and he's disconnected, he's gone.
That is unfortunate. That is very unfortunate.
Oh no, and Victor Bernat as well. Yep, has called it. Well, he's got into the pits to do repairs, so he will still finish the race. But right now, this means that a new picture has been painted for the Constructors' battles at the moment, because Nathan Older is out of this, and I would like to think that somebody in the GOAT Motorsport is still in this race, but I don't think so. I think it was Victor Bernat who was the only one. Yes.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, that. So we have 2 title contenders right here out of the race, as Victor has now withdrew from the race.
Unf
Stoper is still going, however, but not yet. Not quite there. He's got a long way to go, and I believe he's got damage as well. So I believe it's actually smooth sailing for Nilsson. It's his race to lose from now on, 6 seconds on lead.
I just want to get some information from Saiju here. Of course, he's one of the race directors on this, who's in the chat as well. I think this means Arrow Motorsport might take this. So that is an exciting prospect, as Verbunen is battling with Sheikh at the moment. So that's Verbunen into 5th. Of course, he was your pole sitter on this race, thanks to finishing in 10th on the last race. But they go side by side through Snake. How are they doing that? Is a third car going to get involved?
Oh, God. Not the same corner once again. However, not a lot of cars involved this time, thankfully. Oh, that would have been a risky rejoin there. However, it's clean. As we go back on track, Verbunen down in 9th. As Gilmore,
no.
This corner.
Same corner again?
This corner is taking no hostages this race.
It really hasn't, but I thought, oh, we're not seeing a change for the lead at all. It is still Nilsson in first position. We'll wait for the timing system to update there. I do apologise to the viewers there that that's happening at the moment.
Yeah, to be fair, don't blame the live timing. Everything is confusing right now. Oh, Nilsson, did he? Yeah, still.
Yeah, it is updating at the moment. At the moment, the closest battle on track is outside of the leads, but I think Arrow Motorsport will be thankful that Justin, of course, your winner in race 1, and is now in a top 3 position in race number 2. So this is going to help Arrow Motorsport. We're, of course, waiting for confirmation from Saiju. Also, hello, Silent Monkey. Welcome to the stream there, as Isaac Nilsson sets the fastest lap of the race with a 1:35.248 there. And guess what? He is faster than the cars behind him as well. So he is on pace for the win here. So that is interesting. Now that a few of the championship contenders for the constructors have unfortunately exited the race, the top 3 are actually level with each other, as well as the top 4, I should say. I shouldn't count out Antoine Bon, but Ollie Mobs has made a mistake there through Casio Triangle. Of course, Pavel Malnikov, who was involved in an earlier incident, has continued on. But of course, Matt Gilmore, who had an excellent start to this race, got up into 2nd place, is now having to pit. I thought that was going to end in calamity.
Oh, God. Yeah, if he'd managed...
Oh, no!
Oh, God.
Pavel Malnikov again!
Malnikov's not having the best of races today, as Nielsen...
Oh!
That's not Nielsen. Oh, he's got another hit as Ollie. Apologies.
It's Tuki Gonzalez and Ollie Mobs there, who unfortunately, Tuki Gonzalez got involved in the shrapnel from that battle. But Verbunen has now made a mistake, though, outside of the Degners as well.
Yeah, lots of incidents this race compared to the one before, and we thought the one before was chaotic. This one is, yeah.
This one's certainly on another level here, but the box at the moment, I just want to say the box doing an excellent job in 2nd place. He's actually just extended the gap a little bit. It's just under 2 seconds now, so the box smashing just in here. Now, I don't know if this will be enough, to be honest with you. If I've calculated the points correctly, because he got 30 and will have a few extra points for the fact that he led a few laps, as the box now takes over fastest lap of the race. That's a 1:34.814 from the box. But at the moment, I'm not sure where this is going to go. And of course, Justin has to hold off Antoine Bon, who's looking racy behind at 8/10 now. That gap has gone down to a Viper. In this situation, you have a Constructors' Championship on the line. What do you do if you're Justin? Do you just hold on for dear life?
No, to be fair, I'd honestly go for risk it for the biscuit kick situation. I'd push as hard as I can, as risky as it is. Yeah, but for me, I'd go for it. But like I said, it's very risky. If he gets it wrong, he loses it all.
Indeed he does, but you know, it's never nice. And in these situations as well, I can't imagine it's nice to have a car faster than you behind you and filling up your mirrors. And with 10 minutes to go, that's the car you have to defend. Now, the only real thing for Justin here, well, I would say it's only one real thing, but at the moment, Justin has one less overtake push to use. Antoine Bon now uses that, so Antoine Bon clearly feels that the slipstream and the overtake system can work in his favour here. And to be fairly honest, it's not surprising that we've seen most of the usage come out of this part of the track. You've got this long sweeper which you just full throttle for, and then you have the start-finish line, which is again another place where you just go pedal to the metal, really. It's no surprise.
Yeah, it's quite the longest straight. And that is the ideal place to use it, unless on this straight you manage to get a good run. So yeah, it actually depends on what position you're in to deploy it.
Exactly as well. And at the moment, I will say as well, the box is actually catching the leader as well. That gap has gone from 6 seconds to 4.8 seconds as it stands right now. So the box, it's not over just yet for the leader. The box definitely showing good pace right now and is going faster than Nielsen as it stands. So we'll keep an eye on that throughout the race. But other battles happening. Well, I will be honest, it's kind of separated itself out. There isn't really one. It's definitely... Oh, as soon as I say that, though, Jiggleoff loses it in the snake section.
Yeah, that is unfortunate once again. He was in actually a good position. I believe Stoker's put enough pressure to make him snap.
And then we had Kachios going wide at the Degners, and he loses out to 6th. So Ryan Gramage now up in the Red Bull Castrol HRC car, up into 6th position at the moment, and now everybody's using their push to pass in the top 4. But at the moment, nothing changing as of right now, but the box still closing on that lead battle. So who has taken your attention for this race so far, as we've just seen Pavel Melnikov improve, as Jigalov I think has
Retired.
Yes, so I just wanted to pass on, because I don't think you can see my chat at the moment, as we see Antoine, who's at 1:34.472, fastest lap. Juniper actually killed their engine, and I think Jiggleoff just went and did the same thing, so it is possible to break your engine, as now we are seeing the 3rd position battle go side by side. It is Bun trying to get into 3rd, but he's not successful there, and will have to wait for another opportunity.
That's as well through this section. High speed curves in these cars, and looking forward to get a good run on there.
Indeed, and at the moment as well, I just wanted to ask Viper, who's got your attention for driver of the day so far?
Yeah, Nielsen, if he manages to stick it and keep the win, he's basically done it. Impressive race from him, and quite clean, managed to stay out of the chaos. Well, to be fair, we did have a lot of retirements this race, around 5 retirements as a matter of fact, and I'm pretty sure that the other half of the field, well, most of them at least, do have a lot of damage in the back. So yeah, I believe if Nielsen keeps it clean, he's going to be driver of the day.
You know, there's no harm in benefiting from others' misfortune, you know. I mean, you take a win as you get them, to be honest. Justin using his push to pass there, of course, you see that counter go orange. That means that they've started to use them, and Antoine Bon does, of course, lose out as he decided not to use it. We've seen Pavel Malnikov make a mistake, and that has been another common area there, where we've seen drivers get it wrong there. What is going on with the Degner there, which is causing the drivers, in your opinion, to lose it at that particular section of track?
Well, I think, like I said, I think this race, a lot of drivers were willing to risk it, and unfortunately that risk did not pay for a lot of them. And considering this is the last race of the season, lots of points and positions to be made on the standings. A lot of people risked it, and unfortunately it backfired very hard. And I think it also has to do with the damage that we got in the pile-up earlier. It's very hard, and the car is very inconsistent in terms of error due to the damage.
Indeed, and I also just want to say, Saiju has just let me know that Roland needs to keep his podium, and Arrow Autosport have won the Constructors' Championship, so Antoine Bon could be a thorn in Arrow Autosport's day. And he also adds on that Tuki needs to get into the points in case Roland loses the podium. So Tuki Gonzalez currently in 10th position, but only good for 1 point as it stands right now. So after race 1, as it stands right now, it's 3:09 for TKR, 3:22 for Goat, and then for Arrow, well, yeah, no, I've read that wrong. Oh, God. Arrow with 309 after race 1, and then it's 3:22 for Goat, and then, of course, for Nathan Alder's team, who, of course...
A car slowing down on the back straight.
Let's see, I'll see if I can find
him. He's
him.
letting them pass, I believe. Oh, Ollie is off once again. Rough race for Ollie this time. Last race he did make an impressive run, but however this race has been rough on a lot of people.
It certainly has, and this section of track taken a lot of hostages. I think, oh, have we just seen a change of position? I thought we briefly did, but it was just, again, that timing glitch coming back, and I think a lot of hearts and mouths right now. So yeah, Arrow needs at least 20 points to win, and this podium would secure that. But at the moment, Tuki Gonzalez, well, he's not really around anybody, so it really is up to Justin to actually secure the Constructors' Championship at the moment. Now, I was talking about earlier on how the box was closing down on the leader. He's got that gap down to about 3 seconds, but with 5 minutes to go, bit of a tall order, don't you think, Viper?
Oh, yes, indeed. Oh, there's a massive lock up there from Justin. Keeps the gap, however. And yeah, indeed, the box has been closing in quite consistently. The gap appears to be stabilizing so far. So perhaps it is for Nielsen. Once again, like we mentioned earlier, it's his race to lose. So if he keeps it consistent, I believe he could have enough of a gap. And as we say that, I think both of them deploying push to pass as the gap drops below 3 seconds, as a matter of fact.
I was just seeing there an overtake on Stopper, well, on Kachios there. Stopper improves up into 7th position. Fortunately, a miserable race for him as well, involved in a huge collision earlier on in the race, but continued on and has persevered and done very well to do so. Unfortunately, he's not much of an improvement, and now, oh, here we go. Antoine Bunn is the closest he's ever been, I think. Let's go on board with him and see how he does, and that is not the right buttons. I have just gone and Monaco'd everybody. And there you go, Antoine Bunn wasn't quite close enough there, so he will just continue on in 4th position. But Antoine Bunn letting it Justin know he's there, and it's not over yet. But as soon as I said that about the box as well, saying it was a bit of a tall order, that gap's gone down to 2.4 seconds, and Ollie Mobs has made a mistake at the Degners.
Like once again, rough race for Ollie this one. Rough race for everyone, to be honest. Well, except from the top 3 who've had the pretty much the good end of the spin. I believe Ollie now has sustained a lot of damage. The car is very hard to handle, and he's actually managed to come out within the podium into the top 3 and 4th, actually. So good on him for moving out of the way to not interrupt the battle.
Indeed, but Justin made a mistake there. He missed the apex of the hairpin, so he's currently vulnerable to Antoine Bunn. But Antoine Bunn, again, wasn't able to get close enough, so evidently down on straight line speed and is relying on the slipstream and the push to pass. And there you go, Antoine deploys that push to pass again, and the box also deploys his push to pass as well, because Nilsson had to wait for his to recharge. And in fact, there you go, the box has used it. So that means that he's only got one left, and everybody is now in recharge.
Yeah, it's very tight now with less than 3 minutes to go, and the box, Bunn, apologies, is very close to Justin now. However, does not get the best exit. However, he could have just enough toe to get him closed before the first turn.
Justin a 10th faster than Antoine Bunn on this lap around. Now, of course, this is it. This is the battle for the Constructors' Championships. I have been reliably informed by the race director that if Antoine overtakes Roland, the Arrow will lose the Constructors' Championship. So this is an entire championship on the line here, and we have a lead of the race also on the line. We will have 2 laps to go. If I can just check where Nilsson is. Yes, it is 2 laps to go, as Stupa makes a pit stop here, so evidently he feels he needs to repair the damage or try and go for fastest lap. He's in the Revolution 9 car, not involved in this battle at all. So at the moment, we switch eyes and attention to Justin. We'll keep an eye on the lead battle. That is now down to 1.5 seconds. So Nilsson definitely struggling with the older compound of tyres that he has got. But then again, so is everybody. So as we approach Spoon right now, it is still Roland leading the way as of right now. He uses his push to pass. Antoine Bunn did the exact same thing, and who can blame him? They only have 2 to go, so this really is now or never, and Justin feeling the pressure, needing to defend the inside here.
Ooh, will he go for a move? It's a bit too tight to make a move. As they go back straight, he's right on his tail, but once again, Justin gets the better exit. However, Bunn is closer this time, as Sheikh appears to have lost position to Juan Gramage.
Indeed, I think Juan Gramage, yeah, they went side by side through Casio Triangle there, and Juan Gramage loses out. He's got one last push to pass to use, as Sheikh now comes back at him. We will keep an eye on this, but we, of course, the battle for the constructors is starting to separate out. Melnikov has made another mistake as well, and here we go. Juan Gramage defending the inside as bravely as it can, but shakes with, oh no!
Got T-boned right in there. That will be looked on. 100% looked on.
Anyway, now that that battle's coming to an end, we, as swift as it is, we go back to the battle for the Constructors' Championship. Of course, this is the final lap. As soon as that clock goes to 0, that's it. That is the end of the race, and this is the last lap. The box is too far behind, I think, to make any sort of impression on the lead. 1.3 seconds, final lap. I think that is just about safe if Nilsson keeps it on the track. But at the moment, the closest battle that we are witnessing in the top 4. Oh, no! Justin has lost it!
He spun!
It's over for Arrow Motorsports!
Leading for the championship. That would give him the championship if he keeps it. The leader is on the final lap. It almost seems sealed now. That is dramatic. That is a dramatic change of events.
Hold on, Tuki is 9th. I think Saiju wants to throw another spanner in the works, but the box got as close as he dared. It was like Lando Norris and Max Verstappen earlier today, but it is Nelson who takes the final win in the Super Formula Series, but we still have a spanner in the works because Tuki Gonzalez is in 9th position. So did it not matter?
Yeah, that race is a roller coaster of emotions. For pretty much everyone, drivers, spectators, us the commentators, it's absolutely, oh, that's the beauty of racing, pretty much.
And a beautiful end to what has been a beautiful championship. The Super Formula Series providing yet more entertainment there. And it is always a pleasure to commentate on this. Thank you to Cyanide for allowing me to do this. And of course, Viper, you have been an absolute pleasure to commentate with as well.
Yep. Thank you, Dave. It's been a pleasure indeed, and what a race, to be honest. I'm quite speechless.
Right. Tuki Gonzalez comes home in 9th, and he might have just saved Arrow Autosport there, as Stupa gets the fastest lap of a 1:33.730. And we have just had another follow, and that is from Nick. Thank you for the follow there. We are now seeing donuts. Now, I do just want to say as well, we were expecting celebrations from Nathan Older, but unfortunately, due to his retirement and collision, that will no longer be going ahead. Saiju believes Arrow Motorsport has won. However, with penalties, it might change. So unfortunately, we cannot confirm on this broadcast if Arrow Motorsport is the winner, but unofficial results state that Arrow Motorsports have taken the win. So there you go. That rounds up the Cyanide Super Formula Championship. I believe we might be taking some interviews, and I believe we should begin by talking with the Race 2 winner, Isaac Nilsson. If Saiju can just let me know when they can be dragged in. I do believe he has the authority to do that. So we will wait. But anyway, what a great couple of races, Viper. How would you summarize all of that?
Well, once again, I'm quite speechless. Like, we went into this race having specific names in our mind to take the victory, but it appears none of them were the ones that we picked. So yeah, it's quite surprising and quite unfortunate pileup that we've had. But nonetheless, yeah, what a race. Honestly, what a race.
I think we were treated to an absolute spectacle for the final time. Saiju is actually in this chat and he's unmuted himself. Does he have something to say or not?
So I just wanted to say, Roland Justin, race 1 winner. I'm gonna grab him for interviews.
Okay, no problem at all. Yeah, if you can pop him through. Roland.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome to the broadcast and the commentary box.
Thank you. That was... oh my god, that's... I really enjoy that. Race 1, of course I won it, so I don't really have anything negative to say about it.
Of course, you absolutely ran away,
Yeah,
but like, you know...
That was
thanks
a
to
bit
incidents
lucky,
around
because
you.
if Icebrand and Nathan didn't crash into each other, then I couldn't have gotten P1, but then I did anyway. I just bounced on the situation and luckily didn't spin. Like I did in a particular race 2. So I'm really happy with race 1. Then race 2, P10 of course. I kept it clean throughout the race. There was a situation where 6 people in front of me just all crashed in Desys. Not sure if you saw it in the stream.
Well, we saw quite a lot.
What happened in Essex, 6 people somehow made a massive pileup.
Yes, we definitely saw that.
Put me into P3. And from then on, it was just all, like, to the way to the end, just trying to defend from Antoine and trying to keep him outside of Slipstream. And I was, like, really nervous all the way through, because I got P1 in the first race, and I would have been P2 in the second race, and that... Or, like, P3 in the second race, and that would have gotten me P2 in the final standings. But of course we are talking about me, so 5 corners before the end I spun and gave P3 away to Antoine, therefore losing P2 in the championship. So...
well, we
that's
actually...
really nice end to the season from me.
Yeah, I just want to say as well, I want you to take us through the final lap of race number 2 there. Of course, that mistake might mean you lose the championship, but Tuki Gonzalez might have done enough to save it, so you might be Constructors' Championships, but we have to wait for
Constructor
penalties.
may be enough, although I'm not sure, because Nathan had good race in race 1. So I don't think... But Drivers' Championship-wise, yeah, like if I didn't spin, I would have been P2. So that's like just a perfect summary of my season, this race, I think.
So, of course, like, you know, going in... I mean, I think what I want to ask you, really, is what I've asked every driver when I've commentated on one of these races is, what have you taken away from this season of racing and that you could apply into another season if you were to do something like this
Probably
again?
to be really, really careful on race 2 starts, because, like, being back there in the, like, midfield of the pack, which is something you're not used to, and also, like, from P11 onwards, the driving standards drop quite a bit from what I've experienced. So just being, like, out of the fights and, like, the big contacts is really beneficial for your race. Like, it can decide whether you get a podium or even a race win or not.
Viper, do you have any questions for our race 1 winner?
Well, you pretty much hit them all spot on, to be honest. I have nothing to ask anymore.
Fair enough. Well, look, Roland...
Also, I just want to apologize for the 5 cars that we running 5 different liveries.
that
through
is...
Revolution 9. I hope that didn't cause any confusion.
I mean, to be fair, we did get more visual appeals, more colours, so that's always welcome.
Like, the fact was, like, Tuki wanted to run his livery since, like, race 4, and I told him to do this, like, a final race special. Then Rai just used the default team livery. I used one as a tribute to Roland Ratzenberger for Malaysia in this round, and then in the Revolution 9, Oli made a special livery, of course, and then Iceman just decided to also, why the hell not just make one? So, by the way, can you drag them into here, like Rai and Iceman, so like with a team interview, sort of?
Sorry, say that again?
Can you drag Rai and Iceman in as well, so like we can get...
Okay,
some
no
words
problem.
from,
So,
like, the
Saju,
entire
that
team.
will have to be your duty if you're still here, of course. Let me just get ready.
Oh, race Pido. Alright.
Rai and Iceman as well, maybe. Because he's, of course, in the other team. Hello, Rai.
Hi. Just got
Right.
dragged in.
All right, hello, welcome to the commentary box. Of course, we think that your team have taken the Constructors' Championships, but at the moment we need to wait.
I think it's not. It's still like... Because Nathan got points in race 1.
You needed a minimum of 20
Nathan wouldn't have been a
points.
problem. It was like... Victor retired in both races, didn't he?
Victor retired. Did Victor retire in both races? No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
He didn't.
I believe it was the second race.
He did race 2. Race 1, I think... No, Victor finished race 1, so I think they have enough points to clinch the Constructor Championship. But again, P2 is a really good result anyways.
Saiju did some calculations for us while we were commentating, and what it is, after race 1, Arrow were on 309 points, TKR was 322, and Goat had 328, which means you needed a minimum of 20 points in the team to actually score a Constructors win. So if you've done that, you should be winners.
I got 12 points, and I think... Rai, did you finish in the point? You didn't.
This is
Tuki,
just
where did
race
Tuki
2.
finish?
Remember, just race 2. Tuki finished in the points as well.
I think he didn't get... If he got P6, then that would put us ahead of Good Scuderia. So if he finished
As
P6
you can see,
I think he finished
guys,
P7,
math
so...
is not our strong suit.
I think he finished P7.
But I guess
So-
we'll see the results.
I'm not quite sure, to be honest.
I mean, to be fair, in regards to math, I don't think anybody will have the mental capacity to do any math after that race.
I
That's true as well.
I have to agree with that. Viper has made some excellent observations throughout the races and the qualifying. So,
Also,
yeah, go on.
as a bit of a nod to Max Verstappen, I did my fair share of tomfoolery in the race as well. Because what happened is of course, football is way more important than. And it's just kidding, of course. Anyway, like what happened is because currently there's a match going on between Inter, the team I support, and Lazio. So what I ended up doing is I just put my laptop on my desk alongside my actual monitor and just glanced at it every single lap to see how the score is doing.
Reasonable
So
reaction.
that might have been a bit of a distraction, but
Just a
let's do one
tiny
race nonetheless.
distraction, not
Yeah.
too big of a deal.
Yeah, they are losing currently, for your information, so I'm not very happy about that.
Yeah. That is unfortunate. We wish your team the
Yeah.
best.
I do as well.
I
Yes.
apologize to the commentators because I remember last race I said this race would be my race, and it actually was looking to be it. But I
Yeah,
felt
then Zandro happened.
exactly.
Like, to be honest, like what I would like to see an improvement on in further races is like a bit of like stricter stewarding so that these events don't end up happening. Like I think from what I've heard, Sandro had at least 5 or 6 incidents with just people from the VC that I was with, and
Yeah.
then there were many others. So I think that the penalties itself, like when we are talking about one race and having multiple collisions, they need to be like sort of exponential. So that if you do like 3 stupid things in a race, then you should probably get a race ban at least.
Well, of course, that is not my decision to make. I'm just the commentator, as is
of course. The
Viper.
side is here, so that's why I'm making the suggestions.
Well, suggestion taking, I'm sure of that.
Yes.
Indeed. All right. Well, look, thank you very much. I think you're constructors, but again, I don't know at the moment.
Yeah,
So
I'm not sure. Like I think
Hopefully.
not, but yeah, we will see.
But believe me, next season I am going to cook so hard.
Okay.
I have the whole
Will I,
training
don't worry. Also,
mentor.
on the livery front, expect some nice liveries.
all
Maybe
right.
5 different ones for the entire season.
Oh goodness me! How very super formula of you.
Yeah, just IndyCar style, you know.
Ugh. All right. Well, look, guys. I think we might have another interview on the way, so I'm going to say
All
thank you
right.
for your time, and we wish you all the best, and we'll see you next season. I hope.
Yeah,
Thank
See
you.
you too.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll be constructors.
yeah, we will. Not hopefully, not of the hopefully stuff. We will be
Ooh.
instructors. Anyway,
Alright.
see you guys next season then.
Bye.
See ya. Bye bye.
Well, have a nice day. We're looking forward to see you again.
All right. Aside you, do we have anybody else?
Yes, so next up is Isak Nilsson, race 2 winner.
Isaac Nilsson, hello to you. Welcome to the commentary box in Cyanide. What a win that was. You nearly were pipped at the end, reminiscent of a race earlier on today, but you held out in the end. What were your thoughts going into race 2?
I wasn't expecting to win at all.
Hmm.
I thought I was gonna lead maybe a lap and then get overtaken by all the leaders and fall back to maybe like P6 or something. But I think someone crashed behind me and there was battling, so I was just able to pull away. And then near the end I was, thinking I was gonna get overtaken, and then the last lap came and I almost like pissed myself.
Very.
Yeah, reasonable reaction. What was your reaction when you found yourself in the lead of the race?
Like I said, I was just expecting to get overtaken immediately, but then I saw the gap getting bigger and bigger, and I thought maybe I can win it.
Yeah, what an impressive race, to be honest. You did it consistent, you did well, you deserve it.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And of course, we of course, congratulations on your race to win. What would be again, I ask every driver this after every race, kind of like this. What would be something that you would take from this season going into next season? Now that we've approached the end of the Super Formula Series, is there anything in setup or just in terms of driving style?
Maybe a bit cleaner, less mistakes, less track limits, and just a bit faster, hopefully.
All right, and if Cyanide could make an improvements, what would you do now that we have Sidu in the comments box?
I haven't thought about it really. I haven't done that many races. I think I've done 2 this season, but
Right.
honestly, I think it's been kind of good. So I
All
have
right.
no complaints.
All right, well, look, Isaac, congratulations on race 2 win. Viper, do you have any further questions?
Nope. Once again, Nilsson, congratulations. What a run. Looking forward to see you next season. Hopefully this time a full season run.
I hope so too.
All right, Isaac, thank you so much. I will let you go. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye for now. All right, Saiju, is there anybody else?
So if you want to interview the pole sitter as well, this Stopa.
Okay, yep. Yes, Brand Stopper. Let's have a word with him.
Hello.
Welcome, Stopa.
Hello there.
Yeah, go on.
My word. Sorry, I was just a bit caught unawares. Viper, you were first. You can go first.
Yeah, right. Yeah, hello, Stopa. Not the most ideal way to end the season, to be fair. quite unfortunate.
No, it was fun though. I mean,
Yeah, it
you
was
gotta
indeed
put it into context, right? Basically, like half the grid was in the voice chat during the race, so we were
Yeah,
always
and
kind of having fun and screaming, and it was a good time.
Yeah, and to be fair, half the grid was kind of stuck in the Dagna curves, to be fair.
Yeah, it was that was like a 6-car pileup question mark.
Yeah, I believe something like that. It was a huge part that put up most of the, well, not most, but a big chunk out of the grid, out of the race.
Yeah, it was no, I had paced that race, but it was not meant to be. I could have won the first one technically, but even then I would have gotten the penalty. But even then, I just ended up spinning it, like, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that is unfortunate indeed. However, we always bounce back, don't we? So looking forward to see that how we will do next season.
Yeah.
Hopefully, not a repetition of what happened this race, and hopefully
Yeah.
we all be a lot cleaner.
I highly doubt I'll be showing up, but maybe I will. Depends on the car. If it's like a really good car, then I might actually show up.
Hmm.
Yeah, we'll
Well,
have to see.
hopefully we'll pick the ideal car, and we're looking forward to see you next
Yes.
time.
Yes.
Absolutely. Stoper, could you actually just take us through the incident you had with Nathan in race 1? What exactly happened there? It was around Casio Triangle. I just want to know what was going on inside of your head, if you don't mind me asking.
Right, you mean the chicane, right?
Yes, I do. Casio.
Yes, so he was supposed to pass to get past me, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then I got back into his slipstream and I was like, we were like going the same speed. I was on my limiter. Like my gears were incorrect for the first race, so I was in the limiter. I broke early, I'd say. Nathan kind of outbraked himself, went really wide, took like a wide line, but I wasn't like down his inside or anything. I was trying to stay behind him, which was a mistake because it ended up being that he was super slow through the chicane. I was braking a lot, but I still ended up just tapping his rear, like just slightly. And Assetto Corsa contact physics means that you just spun around. It was unfortunate. It should have been just like, in real life, it would have been like a part of my wing would fall off, like a little like on the side, you know. But in the game, because the car's just brick walls, it means that he just spun, and it's unfortunate.
Mm.
It's like such a tiny tap, shouldn't have done anything.
No. Unfortunately, Assetto Corsa had other ideas for you, and then, of course, you were involved in another incident. It was between Juan Gramage and Nathan Older yet again, going 3 wide into the first corner there. Can you take us through that?
Wait, which one?
It was on race 1. You were 3 wide going into the first corner. I think it was with either Juan Gramage or Victor Bernat. It was one of the two.
Was it near the beginning of the race?
I think it was towards the end, because it was after that
Right.
contact in turn 1.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, if you could, you could talk about that for just a little bit.
I don't have the I don't have the replay. I'm gonna check. I can't remember at all what you guys are talking about. I have the memory of a goldfish.
All right. Well, look, if it's too hard to remember, well, look, we won't force the issue any further, so that's fine. Viper, any further questions?
No.
I found the replay, so hold on. You can keep babbling for a little bit since it's loading up.
Unfortunately, I'm all out of babble.
Damn! Wait, hold on. So the wait. So hold on. It was me, Nathan. Oh, I remember now. Yes, yes, yes. So I was on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so it was like me and the other dude, I don't know the name, side by side. And then there was like a gap in the middle. Nathan went through it. And then by definition we were like going side by side, like 3 wide into the corner. I went as far to the inside as possible. But I should have just let off. I don't know why I didn't, but I then touched Nathan, who then touched the other person, and we all just kind of went like drifting through the first corner. Some got off better than others. That was wild.
Yeah, unfortunately, it seemed, you kept your position, Nathan. Well, the battle between you and Nathan Alder continued, but unfortunately, for the car on the outside of both of you, their race was quite badly affected. So, of course, what do you expect any steward action on this if reported? Would you say so?
Sure, of course. There's so much in this race. I doubt the stewards even care. I don't think they want to deal with this race. I mean, Victor was just like he got murdered in the second race, right? And he was like, "Okay, congratulations to the championships, everybody. I'm gonna leave now." And then he left the server. I don't think he wants to deal with this anymore. I think it's really done with it.
Yeah. I believe the stewards will need a raise after the work for today.
Isn't just one guy? Isn't just all Victor doing it? Or am I incorrect with that? I'm not sure, but it's
All
You
right.
just say with track limits involved, I'm not gonna sleep tonight.
Of course, the chat limits, the funny ones there, but also, I will just quickly say, there you go. I think that's all I really have got for today. Thank you very much, Stoper, for taking the questions from me and Viper, and enjoy the rest of your evening, and hopefully we'll see you next season.
Yeah, thanks, man. Goodbye.
Bye-bye. All right. The only thing that is left on the agenda right now is to announce that there will be a prize ceremony next week. Saiju, do you want to explain further about that? Saying the time, where can we watch that?
Well, I hope it's gonna be live streamed on our Twitch channel. We're gonna do that just before the AFR race. Our league partner, we're racing bi-weekly, so yeah, it's gonna take a little bit of time to sort everything out, to see when people participated and whatnot, and yeah, after that, we're gonna do like a spinning wheel type of website, gonna put all of the names in there, and yeah, whoever wins has a chance to either win 30 euros, 10 euros, or a Steam key. Which I'm still not sure because it's not up to me. It's one of our admins who came up with that idea.
Well, I look forward to seeing that. Of course, well, we hope to see that live streamed, of course. And of course, keep an eye out on the Discord of Cyanide for any announcements about this as well. But I think that is all for today. Interviews are finished now, so all we have to do is end this broadcast, and it has been one hell of an excellent Super Formula series. So thank you so much to Saiju, thank you so much to Victor Bernat and all the other admins and stewards as well for all your hard work this season. Your hard work's nearly come to an end, just one more set of reports to do, and then you can reflect on the league as a whole for the season. It has been an absolute pleasure to commentate on the last one. It was a shame Matt couldn't be here, but Viper has been excellent and has given us analytical insights to the point, like, it was absolutely amazing. Thank you so much to Viper as well.
Yeah, thank you, Dave. It's been an honor, and obviously thank you, Saiju, and the rest of the moderation and administration team. It's been quite fun. And unfortunately, I didn't have the pleasure to commentate any of these races. However, the last race was a bit of a banger. So yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy I managed to play this one.
Indeed, as am I. Well, all right. Is there anything you two want to say to the stream before I end off?
Well, thank you all once again. Thank you for the amazing commentators and the amazing broadcasting team we're having. Thank you, Dave, for commentating on our racing. Mateus is not home today, but I want to officially thank him as well. I want to thank Habibo as well for the lots of help he has given us. Thank you, Viper, of course. And I must thank the entire admin team as well. Victor Bernard, who has managed the link all by himself for a couple of weeks when I was on vacation. That was quite stressful. Thank you for Beckett for his administration roles. Thank you for Eskivoski for helping us, in these last couple of races that we've had. And thank you for Toki Gonzalez as well for managing all of the social media side of the league.
Of course. Well, look, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you all along today. And yeah, hope to see you all again very soon. Thank you very much.
Yep. Thank you, Dave. Been an honor.
You too, Viper. Bye-bye for now.
Yep. Bye-bye.
All right, guys. Well, look, that is all from me from the Cyanide Super Formula Series. That was, of course, an absolute banger of a race to end on, and an absolutely great race from everyone involved. Thank you all so much for watching, for those of you that haven't. Thank you all for the follows as well. We had Meme Ruler with the follow, Ollie with the follow, Dim Dims with the follow, Nick with the follow, and Jorgen Leth25. Thank you for the follow as well. Guys, what can I say? What a race. What a championship. And it all went down to the end, even if it was with the constructors. A roller coaster to the end. So, from wherever you may be in the world, I wish you a very good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. Stay safe, stay alive, and I will see you all again very soon. And from Cyanide, myself, bye-bye for now. I muted myself, I don't know why.